Hello, class. Welcome to CSCI 235 Procedural Programming. I'm excited about this semester and I look forward to seeing you all. I thought I'd give you a brief update here in this introductory video so you can see my face and get prepared for coming ready to go on Tuesday in class. So just a few things on how to be successful in this class. This is a 4-hour class. It's real computer science, and because of that, it is a challenging class. So you're going to have to work hard. One of the major reasons it is a challenging class is because of the problem-solving nature. We're going to be learning how to program using C++, but with that, you're going to develop these tools and skill sets to solve problems using the computer. And sometimes a problem may be obvious how to solve it to you, but difficult for others and vice versa. So it's a little bit hard to judge personally how long it's going to take for you to do a programming assignment because some unforeseen things might cause you trouble, or they might turn out to be easier than you thought. So because of that, you really need to stay on top of learning the material, developing the tools, so that way you have some time to think about how to solve the problems given to you. You'll know everything you need to know in this class from this class material. So it's good to have a prerequisite class in programming, but if you don't have any programming experience, I cover everything you need to know in this class. You'll just have to probably spend a little bit more time thinking about some of the topics because they'll be fresh and new to you, whereas some other students might have some previous experience in Alice or Visual Basic, for example. So let's just dive in. I want to show you a little bit about what the stuff looks like on Blackboard. So you'll see something like this. This will be this video in this announcement. So we're on the announcements tab here when you start up. Right now I just got this information here, but every week at the beginning, Monday early, I'll have an announcement posted here with information about what you need to do that week. So always check this Monday, preferably in the morning, and then you can see what you need to work on. And then there'll be assignments due generally on Tuesday and Thursday. And so you'll want to come prepared to class on Tuesday by looking through some of the material. So the material will be listed by week here on the left-hand side, as you can see. And if we just go into week 1 here, you can see there's a little overview of what you're going to learn, as well as the stuff you need to look over, so the resources, as well as the assignments. So there's assignment 1A and 1B for this week 1. And you'll see there'll always be 2 folders here. And what I'd like you to do, thinking about this kind of like a flipped class where you learn on your own, you study the material, and then in class we work on the material. So instead of doing the homework at home, you do the homework in class. This works out really well, but what you're going to need to do is before class on Tuesdays, read the first folder here, look over that material, and then before Thursday, look over the second folder of material. And if you click on one of these materials or one of these, you can see there's a video. That'll be this video I post up. Some reading information, as well as some videos to watch and understand. If you do that, you'll be able to do that assignment that's due, that we'll work on in class. In class, I'll give a little bit of an overview, and I'll also cover any questions that you run into based on your studying of the material. And that really allows me to give you an expert experience. So you could learn C++ and programming and problem solving skills on your own for sure. But what's the advantage of doing it primarily in a class like this one in college is having somebody like me that you can use as a resource. So I want you to take advantage of that rather than me just telling you what's in the textbook or telling you something that I have already a video for. You can learn that and leverage me and my time with you for the special questions that you might have and some discussion there. So that's the way we'll do this class. So you can see that's an example of the week 1 first folder, and then there'll be a third thing that's due this week. And so in here you'll see the assignments that are due. So we get 2 right now related to some algorithms that we're going to develop in this first week. So we'll work on this triangle validator in class on Tuesday, and you can come prepared for that. Looking at this left-hand side, you'll notice we were on the announcements page, and here's the course information page. There's a lot of great stuff here. First, there's a calendar. If you click on this, it should show the due dates for all the stuff that you need to do in this class. So you'll see the assignments show up here when you're viewing that. Whoops. And you can add stuff to it. You can customize that calendar. And also, you'll see the syllabus. And here's my contact information as well. But if we go to the syllabus, you can see that it's got the general information, some course descriptions. Here's the textbook. I definitely recommend you get the textbook. It is super useful. So some students can be successful without the textbook. That is definitely true. But this is a great resource. This will really help you out. It's a little bit expensive, but you can see you get a lot for it. So it's a thick book, and in it, it has full code examples that are different than what we cover in the in-class lectures and in the videos. And so you can see good examples of how to do stuff here that complement well what we talk about in the lectures. You can also get the previous edition. So this is the 8th edition, but you can also get the 7th edition. They're both very similar. The main difference I see is in the practice problems, and any practice problem that you need to turn in, I give you what you need to do. You don't need to use that. So that's just helpful for studying. It's a great resource for being prepared for the quizzes and exams, and also support for the homeworks. It's also a textbook that is used additionally in the data structures class 315. So if you're planning on going on and taking CSCI 315, I recommend that you buy this book rather than renting it, and that way you can use it for both classes without paying twice. I also have listed some free resources. These are online textbooks. They're pretty good, but they're not as well organized. They kind of jump a little ahead into some advanced stuff. So they're useful, they're good references, but the primary textbook will be your best reference. Here's the course objectives. We're going to learn a lot of stuff in this class. Here's the tentative schedule. So you can see here's what we're covering this week, which is basically an overview of computers, how they work, and how to solve problems with them. And then next week, we're diving into the programming language. This week, near the end, we'll get your computer set up so you're able to do that and be ready to go for next week. And then so forth. You can see how that's going. Here's the grading. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see this a little better. Here's the grading weighting. So we're going to have one ethics essay that you're going to do that's worth 8% of your grade, and then you can see there's a final exam, there's a midterm exam, there's also a final project. So the final project you'll do near the end of the semester, and it'll be a large project covering what you've learned, and we'll work on that. We can talk more about that later. But the largest portion of the grade is the programming assignments, and so every week that'll include like some program you're going to write in C++ and develop that. I'll drop the lowest assignment grade, but I won't accept any late work. So if you miss one or turn it in late, you'll get a 0. That's fine. But if you miss more than that, then it'll start impacting your grade, because they won't, just the one lowest grade will get dropped for that. So bear that in mind. You need to stay on top of things. And that's really important for this class in general, because things build on each other, and we're moving, especially at the beginning, pretty fast through the material. You can see we're doing about a chapter a week here at the beginning for the first 5 weeks until the midterm exam. Here's the grading scale, pretty similar to every other class. Here's that policy I mentioned about late work. Teamwork, so you may be able to work in teams later in the semester, but unless I specify, every assignment is an individual assignment. You're expected to do it on your own without a partner or anybody's help. And that's really important to the academic honesty, academic integrity, and honor code. That's an important thing for CSU, but I've had some particular issues with this class where students don't follow this and end up in trouble. So don't let that happen to you. Make sure you do all your work on your own. That includes not getting tutoring from so-called online sites where you ask a question, they give you a solution to a homework problem. So all your homework problems all your assignments you need to do on your own. All the quizzes and exams you need to do on your own. I forgot to mention we're going to have a weekly quiz. So not this first week, but based on the first week's material. Well, I guess you could do it this week. You can do it on your own online. You'll do that. So that's worth 15% here. So these weekly quizzes. It sounds like a lot, but it's very doable. So anyways, teamwork. So at the end, when we're working on the semester project, the final project, you can work with a partner. But until then, you need to work individually. So never look at someone else's code in person or online. So this includes chegg.com. Students in the past have had trouble by getting solutions to homework assignments there. Also posting your own code, avoid that. And it includes other places, forums, search results, Stack Overflow. Don't leverage those to get homework solutions. You can look up like, how do I do something in C++, like how do I output something, but don't look at how do I solve this homework problem. That's not good. Never also exchange code or work with somebody in the class or even outside of the class. So make sure that you don't put your code up somewhere where somebody else could copy it, even though it's not your intention. That has happened in the past as well. So avoid that. Every semester, I have a few people that run into trouble here, and I'm hoping that this semester will be the semester where that does not happen. And so bear that in mind. If you do this, you will be caught. And sometimes it's near the end of the semester where we run the checks and we get a whole lot of feedback. So you may be thinking you got away with it, but in fact you won't in hindsight. And even in the past, we've found people with our results after the fact. So they've already passed the class and their grade was in jeopardy because of that after they had received their final grade. So bear that in mind. You know, if you start cheating, then you could run into problems even after you finish the class. But I'll probably catch you before that. It's usually not very difficult. We'll also be using the Lockdown browser for our quizzes and exams. So here's some information about that. It's just a tool that you'll download. You'll need to run it on Windows or Mac OS, so you'll need to have a computer that's capable of that, not a Chromebook, not just a tablet. However, if you don't have access to that, you can always use the computer lab. So during class time, there are lab time. You'll be able to take the quizzes when they become available. So bear that in mind. But if you want to do it on your own, you'll need to download and install it here. And here's some information about making sure you're in a quiet environment where other people aren't around, and where you don't have like your notes out and stuff. So that's all listed here. And then after that is the general, standard Charleston Southern policies. One thing to note about the attendance: this is a class where the FA, failure due to absentees, is enforced, and that is true even if you're doing the online. If you're in a quarantine or something. Considering the online FA policy, that means that if you don't do any work for a week, then it counts as not having attended for that week. So bear that in mind. For in-person, that also applies. If you're doing this class in person, then if you miss 7 times, then you fail the class. And if you are late to class, then that counts as a third of an absence. At the beginning of class, I'll check for your green check marks on the LiveSafe app, and then I'll also do the attendance and mark you down. So if you come in late, let me know so I can mark you as late and not just absent. And yeah, I think that's it for the syllabus. And there's some other great stuff here. So just to point out, here's the information about when we're going to meet. We're going to meet at 6 o'clock. Everyone's going to come at 6 o'clock to 8:30. There's also a Discord for students in computer-related fields or just interested in computer. You don't have to be a major or a minor, but if you are, it's definitely recommended. So the ACM Club is student-run, and they have a Discord where they communicate, and that's a great place to also share ideas, get connected with other students that have gone through the same struggles, talk to people who've already passed this class, etc. So I definitely recommend you join that on Discord. You can click here to view your grades in this class, or you can do that the other Blackboard ways. And then here's a little more information again about using the Lockdown browser. I think this is going to be a really great semester. I'm excited. Every semester I teach this, I refine it a little bit and do it a little bit better. Looking over the roster, I'm excited to have you in this class. As always, let me know if you have any questions. And I hope you come prepared on Tuesday by having already looked over some of the material, because we're going to jump right in. Thanks, guys, and see you soon.